Hi there, this is Tatara with Ringers of Wrestling, bringing your WWE Hell in the Cell review. As always, please keep in mind that we do play bingo on this channel. So let me just show you what you guys need to look for. You need to look for one of these. If you do win, I will shout you out on my next video. But before I get started, let me introduce you to you guys, my special guest. Some of you guys already know this person. He is the inaugural winner of bingo and the biggest evolution market that I know. The one, the only, the almighty CR21.
The almighty era is here, live.
Alrighty then, as you know, Hell in a Cell started off with SmackDown Women's title match. It's Bianca Belair versus Bailey. What were your thoughts on this?
You know what? I thought it was a pretty good Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna be critical. I think this was better than the men's Hell in a Cell, but I thought it was a pretty good match. Honestly, they had a good spots. I did like the KOD to a ladder. I thought that was a sick spot. And yeah, the EST, the BEST of WWE is still your SmackDown Women's Champion.
Well, I have to say, I actually do agree with you. I thought this was a really, really good match. The lady certainly delivers. There was a couple spots that I liked. The one that you just said, the KOD on the ladder, that was good. But I also liked when Bailey tied Bianca's hair to the rope. I mean, to the rope.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
And she tripped her with it.
That
was one. Or the one where Bianca put Bailey through those kendo sticks. That was another one. But overall, I really what did you guys in the chat think of this match? This is a great way to start off the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat.
Yes, definitely. Do you guys agree with us? Because this to me was one of my favorite matches of the night.
Gotta agree.
Ooh. Look who's in the chat. Our good friend Brett. Should we have him join us, CR?
Why not? He said he got some words to say.
Exactly. Before we go any further. All right. So, what would you rate this match?
I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Out of 10, I'll give it 7.5 out of 10.
Remember, social hates it when we cut it down the middle.
Oh yeah, but we're not doing that tonight. It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler.
Okay, CR Heyman. Anywho, the next match on the card was Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I really, really like this match too. I disagree with the ending though. I don't think I don't think Rollins should have won.
I agree. But it's WWE. You know they want to do 50-50 booking. They're probably going to have a rematch on SmackDown now. You know
what looks better, this one or this one?
I think that one looks better.
Yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Rose says, I don't think they needed to sell, honestly. It was just a hardcore match. He does bring up a good point. He does bring up a very good point.
It would have just been a DQ match. It would have just been fine, you know?
So, do you think Bianca versus Bailey should be locked in the Hell in a Cell match?
Nah.
Or should it been a hardcore match like Rose says?
Yeah, something like that. You know, false count anywhere. No
DQ.
You know, a stipulation would be fine. Just not Hell in a Cell.
Oh, and we are joined by another special guest, the one, the only, Brett Rasmussen.
Oh yeah! What up?
Hey, what's up?
I got word.
You need to fix your mic.
Can you hear me?
You're a little low. Somebody has something on in the background.
Not me.
That's you, CR.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Ooh, okay.
All right, we're good now.
There we go. How about that? There we go. We good?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
We were just talking about Bianca Belair versus Bailey, which we both liked. Rose Montana liked. What were your thoughts on this match? Do you agree that this match didn't belong in Hell in a Cell?
No, this match was fine. The build to this was all about laughs. So, again, the build to this was I didn't understand it because it was all about like it just with Bailey. None of it made sense. Like the match is good. This entire pay-per-view had good wrestling, but crappy finishes. All of them. And I have words to say about the other women's match, and I'll get there. But
we're not there yet.
I know,
so.
I know. So, but with this one, I would probably say this match and the Fight Forever match were probably the two best matches.
Well, hold on. Let's go one match at a time. You're jumping way ahead.
I know. I'm aware. But what I'm saying, though, is that this was definitely a good match. I loved when Bailey kept using Bianca's hair. She, like, tied her to the ropes, tied her to the chair. And then I loved it when Bianca then turned it and then tied her hair to Bailey's arm. And then it became a strap match. And that then became really, really fun. And it was like, again, it was a good match. The finish was just like the finish was, I believe it was a quick roll up.
You didn't like the KOD on top of the on top.
Oh
of the
no,
ladder?
okay, no, I'm sorry. I've been seeing too many small packages. I've messed up. No, that finish. No, that KOD, that was actually really cool. That like it was KOD on top of the tilted ladder. That was fantastic.
Rose, hold on. Rose says match was cool, just a waste of the cell.
I mean, yeah. It could have been an ODQ match. You could have still got the same result.
Even Michael 101591 says match was awesome, but didn't deserve to be in Hell in a Cell. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more for Hell in a Cell. And we just lost Brett. Okay. Well, I think so. The next match, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Like I said, I thought this was a really, really good match, but I disagree with Rollins winning. Welcome back, Brett.
I don't know what's happening on my end, so I apologize. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So we moved on to Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. What were your thoughts on this match, Brett? Let's CR go first, and then you can talk, Brett.
I thought it was a pretty good match. I don't think it was as good as Mania, but it was still a pretty good match. But obviously the ending was just ridiculous. A roll-up, and Seth Rollins won his 50-50 booking. You're not going to have a rematch on SmackDown where Cesaro will probably end up winning. So, you know how they roll.
Yeah. Rose agrees with you. 50-50 booking at its best. Oh, wait. Sorry. But Michael 101 does say it's versus Cesaro. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro was the best match of the night. If it wasn't for Rollins winning, I would agree with you. But because Rollins won, I disagree with you, Michael. Sorry.
Ain't nothing wrong with Rollins, the Drip Slayer.
50-50 booking was the only problem of that match. All right, what are your thoughts on this, Brett?
Who cares? Who cares? Like that, like again, I'm going to go back to it. Great wrestling. Cesaro is a great wrestler. Seth Rollins is a great wrestler.
Not to mention he looks like Jason Statham.
Oh, yeah, but the wrestling was great. It was a good match. That finish, screw that finish. What? Like just a quick roll up. Great. That could have been a TV match. It's just, and it means nothing. Like it doesn't mean anything. This match was literally there because they moved the Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio match that was supposed to be on the pay-per-view today to SmackDown, and they had to go ahead and replace that with something. So they took this match and the Fight Forever match, and this match was like, who cares? We're going to get more Seth Rollins being pissed that Cesaro swung him around 20 billion times, and we're going to continue this feud. Who cares? Good wrestling, fantastic wrestling. Hate that finish. Who cares? So we're going to get on SmackDown. Watch on SmackDown. We're going to go ahead and get Seth Rollins going, ha ha, I beat Cesaro. And then Cesaro comes out and goes, well, I'm not done with you. Or reverse it. Who knows? Who cares? Like, it's not.
What? This is so cool. Sorry, but this isn't WWE related, but I'll say it later. Keep going.
That's about it. It's just terrible 50-50 booking. We're going to get more of this crap on SmackDown. Great wrestling. Hate the finish.
All right, so let's move on. If you hated this finish, you're definitely going to hate this match. Maybe Sierra likes it based on his picture that he has. Shayna Baszler versus Alexa Bliss. Before anybody says anything, this match really didn't do much for me. Honestly, I stepped out to buy food during this match. No offense to the ladies, but it just didn't do much for me. Alexa Bliss ended up winning. CR, you can go first because I know you're a huge fan. So go. I'll let you go
The
first.
disrespect.
You're an excellent.
This was the match of the night, dude. This was the best match of the night.
I knew you would say that, you mark.
Yeah, Reginald ringside. You have Alexa Bliss. What else?
I hope to God you're being sarcastic, because if you are not,
Hey. This is my stream. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
That's fine.
We're gonna have civil. We're gonna have civil arguments on this channel. Okay, we're not gonna go crazy arguing with each other.
Okay.
But as Rose Montana called you, CR Simp 21.
How you being a simp just calling a match of the night?
I think Michael 101 is talking about.
Hello.
Sorry, I think Michael 1. Give me a second. CR, take over.
Bingo.
Talk about the match, dude. Talk about this match.
Oh yeah, Alexa Bliss, Shayna Baszler. Pretty good match. Alexa Bliss won on a pay-per-view. Once again, Alexa Bliss should be next in line for that Raw Women's Championship. But yeah, bro, what do you think of the match?
So the match opens.
Sorry.
That's fine. No worries. So the match opens with Shayna Baszler coming out to the ring. And weirdly, Nia Jax, so Shayna Baszler comes out, and Nia Jax come out also with her, which doesn't make sense, because Shayna Baszler has been saying, like, get out of my face. You and Reginald are just stop. I don't need you. I don't need this. So weirdly, they come out with her. Okay. Then Alexa Bliss comes out to her theme. Great, fine. Normal wrestling, wrestle, but on the outside, you have Reginald trying not to look at Alexa, because if he looks at Alexa, all of a sudden he's going to get taken over, like what happened on Raw. And so you have a wrestling match. And then what happens that apparently, if I remember this correctly, Alexa Bliss looks at Nia Jax. Nia Jax loses her mind. I think Nia attacks Reginald. Shayna is looking to the outside going, what is happening? Alexa Bliss then rolls her up. 1, 2, 3, Alexa Bliss wins. Like, what? No, I am sorry. Like, look, when Alexa Bliss joined up with the Fiend at like Rumble, or like when the Fiend came back, I was actually down with it. And I like this whole like, oh, she's been taken over by the Fiend and she's going to be the one to resurrect him. I'm like, okay, I don't hate this as much as a lot of the wrestling community did. I'm not a fan of this, but I agree. Yes, this was.
How do you hold on, Rick? This is directed to CR. How do you feel about this, CR?
Disrespectful. This is disgraceful.
Now, okay, I have to ask this. I love Alexa Bliss myself. I think she's a fantastic wrestler, and for like the wrestler, like the person, I love her. She's fantastic in ring. She's great on mic, and but what I don't like what WWE is doing is that you can see that she's putting her heart and she's doing the best that she can with this character, but it's not working. It's not like when the crowd.
Oh my God, CR, are you serious? CR 21 Burner says Alexa Bliss has
I don't know who that is.
All right, okay.
Well, Alexa Bliss does actually have a good. That is correct. Alexa Bliss does have a good work rate. If we're talking about like her actually doing like putting the work in, but her character is not getting over. I very much do believe is that when the SmackDown or at Money in the Bank, When we have a live crowd, the crowd is not going to like it, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I can't wait for the crowd to come back because I'm done with the Thunderdome. I'm done with the just them pushing buttons like, hey, cheer for her. Like another character we'll talk about in another match. But like if out of all the matches, this one was the worst. This one sucked. But like again, I'm numb to Raw. This was a Raw match. I'm just like, whatever. The wrestling was fine. It was a match.
What do you guys think about what Steve says in the chat? Alexa needs to go back to her goddess gimmick.
I agree.
Yes.
She does.
I don't like this. Like Lily, the Lily the doll is gone. Okay. I don't think she's like gone. Like I very much still do believe that Alexa Bliss is going to win the tag belts with Lily the doll. I very much do believe that, and that's going to be bull crap. And no. Like I will not put it past WWE for doing that, and that would be stupid. And it just shows how much WWE doesn't care about the women tag belts. Hence, the pre-show match between Natalya and Mandy Rose was another match. They both put in good work rate, but that match was just, who cares? Tomorrow on Raw, we're going to see Mandy Rose. We're going to see like Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Natalya and Tamina in some kind of variation tomorrow on Raw in some stupid match. They're going to be fighting for the tag belts again because WWE doesn't have any more women tag teams.
Cook 318 says she's the best heel. End off. Play on it.
Alexa Bliss is a good face or heel. She's a good promo. It doesn't matter. Alexa Bliss, the wrestler, is great. This version, the character, this like Fiend Alexa, whatever this is, I hate it. She's doing her best to get this character over, but my God, WWE doesn't understand the whole supernatural thing. Like I love Broken Matt. I love everything that Broken Matt did in Impact and the Final Deletion, and that's because in Matt Hardy tried to get.
Why are you talking about Matt Hardy though? Let's stick to Hell in the Cell.
Well, no,
no offense.
No, but it's the super. I'm talking about the supernatural of what Broken Matt or Woken Matt was in WWE. That was the supernatural versus Alexa Bliss's supernatural that we have here going on right here. The reason Matt worked is because Matt knew his character and knew what he was doing. He got to control what he was doing. WWE doesn't understand whatever Alexa Bliss is doing. They don't get what Alexa Bliss is doing. That's why when the Fiend first debuted with the first 8 episodes of Firefly Funhouse, those were amazing. When Fiend debuted at SummerSlam 2019, that was the best debut. And then Hell in a Cell 2019 ruined him, and they tried to get him back, and then after he lost to Goldberg, it was over. And they tried to go ahead and get him momentum at WrestleMania 37, and because of the screwy finish with Alexa, it ruined the Fiend, and the Fiend has gone off to do who knows who, whatever. So this Alexa Bliss character right now sucks. And I love Alexa Bliss. I love her. She's fantastic. I love her, and I want the best for her. But I do not like this character.
Rosé says the last good supernatural gimmicks, I think, were the Undertaker and Kane, maybe even the Fiend. Yeah, that's true, Rosé. Anywho, let's move on to the next match, which was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I personally like this match, and I'm surprised Sami Zayn won. What did you think of this match, CR?
Fight forever.
I can fight forever.
Damn it, pal. Wait, Sami Zayn won on a pay-per-view. That was shocking. I was actually pretty shocked. Sami Zayn won clean on a pay-per-view. Damn. And this wasn't a conspiracy. I'm positive it wasn't a conspiracy. Sami Zayn did win clean on pay-per-view. And I thought it was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed this match too. It was a really good match. What about you, Brett?
Again, this was the other match that I very much enjoyed. The finish, it's another okay finish. Sami Zayn won. Great. Solid match. I can watch Sammy and Owens fight forever. I think that's what it said.
Michael 101-591 says, solid match. I can watch Sammy and Owens fight forever and never get bored. That's true.
And like, and look, like this is like Sammy versus Kevin Owens is the panic button. It's the break glass for emergency match.
Why do you say that, Rose?
What do you say?
Kevin Owens is done. Why do you say that?
Odd. Maybe that he's been
Even Michael 10159 says Saturday.
No. No. Kevin Owens is not buried. It's 50.
Rose says he's so low on the card. It's ridiculous.
No, he's not. He's in the mid card. He's going to still be fighting for the U.S. belt. No, I mean the Intercontinental on SmackDown. No, he's not. He is not buried. You have to be very careful when you use the term buried.
Because they FKO years ago when Lesnar beat him and didn't give him and Jericho a main event at WrestleMania. That is kind of true.
I mean, Kevin Owens doesn't have that luster that he used to have when he showed up from NXT, beat John Cena, and all that. That I do agree with, but he is not buried. There are far more there. He is not buried. He is very much in the mid card in SmackDown. I disagree with the term buried, but I can see where you're coming from. I disagree with the term buried, but I can see where you're coming from. But this is what I mean by this is the panic button. This is the break glass for emergency match. This is literally fight forever, and that's again they had to find a spot to replace Roman v. Ray in Hell in a Cell. So this is the other match. I bet that they had to go, oh, what do we do? You two fight. Like it was like thrown together because they needed this match to be on the pay-per-view because they didn't have Roman v. Ray. It was a good match. And really, I was watching Wrestle Talks stream, and I think Lori, Luke, Pete, and Tempest, they were talking about how when Sammy and Kevin Owens fight, it's like a nice warm blanket. Like they're like, oh, it's going to be a nice easy day at work. They know how they operate, the chemistry, they know how everything goes. The chemistry between them is always good. So it's like, all right, we know what we're doing. Yada 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 yada, so on and so on. And the match was good. Like the match was fine. I didn't like the finish. But fine, you have Sammy win. Great. I very much want Sammy to go. I hope that there really is a conspiracy against Sami Zayn, so that way we can have this character that we've had for a year and a half, almost 2 years. It feels like. I want something to go with Sammy outside of there's a conspiracy against me and he's the crazy guy and that's all of his character and nothing pays off.
Cook 318 KO is a class wrestler, same as Bray. Problem is they don't sell enough merch to make me.
I mean, currently, right now, yes. And mind you, he's on SmackDown, which the main event is Roman. Mind you, early this year in 2021, I think around Rumble time, he was main eventing against Roman Reigns. Yes, he didn't win. And he shouldn't have won. Roman was the correct choice to beat Kevin Owens. I think it was like at Fastlane. I think it was. It was. I remember the spot where it was Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns in a last man standing match. And I remember Kevin Owens was over by the pipes and he had them in a lock. In order for Roman to get out, he grabbed the ref and pulled him, and pretty much the ref hit his head on the bar, knocking him out, breaking the lock. So no, Kevin Owens has been in the main event, just not currently. And Kevin Owens was not the correct guy to beat Roman. I don't know who the correct guy is to beat Roman.
Sorry. We're gonna move on to the next match.
Yeah, go ahead.
Which would be Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship match. Sierra, what did you think of this?
Boo. Terrible. Okay, the match. Okay,
go ahead. Go ahead.
It wasn't the worst match, but the ending again. Like we had to end it like that. You know they're gonna do another match, probably a Money in the Bank. At this point, I just wanted Charlotte to take the title.
Michael 101 agrees with you.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a boring match for sure.
Definitely.
Terrible ending.
I, I mean, to be honest, I guess we were right. Charlotte did win the match by DQ. She didn't win the title, but she won technically by
Hey,
DQ.
I'll take the prediction. I don't mind.
Of course. But yeah, I agree. I really thought Charlotte was gonna end up winning the title, but she didn't. But we know that's gonna happen eventually. So why even bother?
16 time. Woo!
Yeah.
This was terrible. I was furious at the ending. This was actually again another good match. The wrestling inside of the match was actually really good, and Rhea Ripley has fantastic chemistry with Charlotte. With Asuka, sadly, not so much. Rhea and Asuka are very good at wrestling, but it just didn't connect. Where Charlotte versus Rhea, fantastic, and the one thing that frustrates me, I don't understand why they didn't use the whole they fought at WrestleMania last year for the NXT title. And that's not part of the story. That's not part of this feud. It's this whole Nikki Cross beats you because you are too busy looking at Charlotte or Rhea, depending on who it is. Like, what is like that? What? And then, that ending. The ending is what is it? Is that Rhea gets disqualified for using part of the announcer table on Charlotte? What? That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. There have been far too many times over just the past week or even in this pay-per-view where the announcer table was used. But at least this week, how is that a disqualification? How is that a disqualification to do that? That's so dumb. I hate the 50-50 booking. I hate what they are doing. We're going to be getting this again. So tomorrow on Raw, we're going to go ahead and have, somehow, some right, Nikki Cross is going to go ahead, want to fight one of them, and prove that, I'm good enough. I no matter how small I am, and how much experience, even though Nikki Cross has more wrestling experience than both of them, she's going to go ahead and win by some kind of count out or some stupid stipulation. And the reason is because Rhea and Charlotte are still looking at each other and going, I'm better. No, I'm better. This was stupid. I was furious. And I'm like, of course. First, I was mad. And then I went, of course they did. Of course.
Michael 101 or 591 brings up a good point. I didn't know that slamming someone on the announce table would cause a DQ. Vince making up new crap, just like the DQ at Hell in a Cell 2019 with Fiend and Rollins.
Mind you, at 2019, that wasn't a DQ. The match was thrown out. That wasn't even a disqualification. No one won. The match was thrown out by the ref. That's even more stupid. I still have PTSD from 2019, but
so do I. But let's move on to the main event, which was the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Reminder: if Drew McIntyre lost, he would not face Bobby Lashley again for the WWE title. CR, I know you're the almighty CR, so I want you to go first. What did you think of this?
Terrible. The match, it was pretty good. They did good heavyweight moves. It was just basically moves on weapons. Nothing too exciting. They didn't break the cage. It was just, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off because they said, they make up new rules wherever they want. Yeah, that's true. Okay, keep going. Sierra? Sorry.
The match just fell flat. Like, you took off Roman Reigns, the best thing going on in your company, to put this in the main event. Because Roman was on the show. Roman is the main event. But I just didn't like it. And that ending.
Michael 101 says it was a good match, but Lashley only won because of MVP. Steve Callahan says match was good, but ending sucked. My parents actually liked this match. They actually liked this match, but they were my stepdad was mad MVP got involved in this. But me personally, I liked this match. I really did. Obviously, I knew Bobby Lashley was going to win, but like I said, they could have thrown a swerve at us. They could have. Swerve wherever you are. I hope you're watching. They could have thrown a
No,
major
she did it
swerve.
on purpose.
What? What did you say?
I know you did it on purpose. Damn it.
We are part of the swerve show, so it's only natural that we swerve off topic.
All right, yeah.
I thought they were gonna throw a big swerve, and I thought McIntyre was going to win, and then they're gonna get a rematch at Money in the Bank, and then Lashley would win there, but that didn't happen. So here we are. I thought it was a good match. I'm not sure how I feel about MVP's involvement. I guess in a way you can say it hinders Lashley because Lashley won at Mania because MVP got involved. Now Lashley won here because MVP got involved. So what's that saying? So what
A
does that
roll
say?
up though, a roll up, painful.
So, and where does Drew McIntyre go from here now?
Hmm?
Do you think he'll win Money in the Bank?
Nah.
No.
They could. They could. They could. Because Drew can't fight for the title, but it doesn't say anything about him not getting the Money in the Bank. He could get Money in the Bank and then cash in whenever he wants on Bobby or on Brock if he comes back. Whatever. I wouldn't put it past WWE for Drew to win the briefcase. I wouldn't put it past them. No. So this match again, I'm repeating myself, but the match was good. The ending sucked. I personally did not mind MVP's interference. Now, the reason that I don't mind it is because Drew was able to MVP got his comeuppance for interfering with the match. MVP comes in, he starts interfering, and then Drew comes up to him, and he throws him up against the cell and throws him up against the railing or the corner bar or whatever. I can't think of it. But the ending is that you had Miss Claymore. It was just a quick roll up and 1, 2, 3. That's it. I will say the two matches that I think were the hardest to call in predictions. If I had to predict the show, it was going to be Rhea versus Charlotte, and this match were going to be the two. We're going to be the ones that would be the hardest to call because you could go with Bobby, and which he did win, and you can now go, okay, so where do we go from here? We go ahead and get Brock. We get Brock versus Bobby, which is what we wanted. It doesn't need the belt. So if I was predicting, I would have said Drew because Drew could get the belt back. And I'm surprised that they're going to go with the stipulation of Drew can't fight Bobby anymore. Will they stick with it? I highly doubt it. Hence the whole Money in the Bank. But the quick roll-up was dumb because it doesn't match either character. It doesn't match Bob. Bobby wanted to go ahead and end Drew. So it would make more sense if Bobby speared him or did his power bomb or, did the hurt lock or whatever, some kind of finish. It would make more sense for that. Or even for Drew. Just the ending doesn't make sense for either two of the characters in this match. And I was hoping, all right, fine.
Hold on, Brett. Michael 101591 says they are going to have McIntyre in there when Lashley and Lesnar face off.
I wouldn't put it past them. Yep, I could see too. I can see that. I wouldn't put it past WWE if that's something that they would do. I would not put it past them if that's the case. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, so you guys, Hell in the Cell was the final pay-per-view in the Thunderdome, as you guys know, next month fans do return, and Money in the Bank is the first pay-per-view back with fans. And correct me if I'm mistaken, CR, but I believe Hell in the Cell is the first pay-per-view to take place in the Thunderdome. No, it's right. It was
Yeah, it
also the
is
first one.
100%.
It was the first one, and it's also the last one to
In the
take place in the
No, it
Thunderdome?
wasn't the
Thunderdome.
first one, but it was the first
Yeah, it
paper that
wasn't.
happened twice in the Thunderdome.
Wait. Are you like pay-per-views in the Thunderdome?
It was
Yeah,
No.
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been like since SummerSlam. That was the first that like since SummerSlam. That's when they've had pay-per-views at the Thunderdome since then.
Oh, okay.
They've had no.
So wait, so how's Hell in a Cell just only pay-per-view take place twice in the Thunderdome?
Because they know how to get Hell in a Cell earlier this time.
Hell in a Cell was in October last
No,
year,
Oh,
and
yeah, you're right.
this would have been Extreme Rules, but they switched Extreme Rules and Hell in a Cell to this.
yeah, and put Money in the
Oh.
Bank and
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's the only pay-per-view to take place twice in the Thunderdome, and it's the last pay-per-view in the Thunderdome era.
Thank
How do you
God.
feel? How do you feel, CR, that they did overall with this pay-per-view, this final pay-per-view in the Thunderdome era? What would you rate it out of 5?
good wrestling, good work rate, terrible endings. I think that'd be a good way to put it. But it was a
Yeah,
solid pay
definitely.
per view. It wasn't like the worst, but it definitely
Yeah.
wasn't as good as the last pay per view. In my opinion.
Michael 10159 says he gives it a 2 out of 5. A Cook 318 says, I'd say 3 out of 5. It was good wrestling, I suppose, just horrible endings. Michael says they need to bring back pay-per-view. Daily Dance says the show was okay tonight, was horrible. And then Cook, before we go any further, Cook 318 says, can I ask something? It's been a while, I know, but when did finishing moves stop being finishing? Steve Callan says 5 out of 10. Juggernaut says 3 out of 5. Daily Dan blog says 4 out of 5. Flair was a star. And me personally, I would rate it out of 5. It's hard for me to. I want to give it a 3. It's just kind of hard because the pay-per-view started off strong with 2 amazing matches. Bianca versus Bayley was definitely a good match. Cesaro versus Rollins is a good match. I disagree with the way the ending ended. And some of the matches, the finishes just fell flat. Drew versus McIntyre versus Lashley, in my opinion, was a good match. So Sorsh was gonna hate me cutting it in the middle, but I'm just gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
No.
I know he's gonna look back and hate that I gave it a 3 out of 5, but I mean, what can I do?
I was saying this on the Impact show. There's nothing wrong with a 3 out of 5. This was not a 3 out of 5. I will say that right now. This is not a.
I know there's
3
nothing.
out of 5.
I know there's nothing wrong with giving it a 3 out of 5. It's just that our co-host doesn't like it when we cut it down the middle. Yeah. So. Hold on. Davey Dan blog says, I thought the Vikings guy was supposed to wrestle AJ in that big goon. The Viking Raiders? Yeah, what happened? Weren't they supposed to wrestle?
No, that was never announced for the show. That's gonna be on Monday Night Raw.
All right. Cook 318 says every bloody match had at least 3 finishing moves and then ended with a roll up or DQ. Rory says, what are our thoughts on this pay-per-view? We pretty much just went over that already, Rory, and he gives it a 2 out of 5.
Like it is very. This was a pay-per-view. It's what I've been seeing from the past pay-per-views that WWE puts on. It's good wrestling, crap finishes. And I'm getting tired of it. And I very much do.
Has anybody got him bingo yet? Has anybody got him bingo? Let me know if you get bingo. I'll shout you out in my next stream. If not, I'm just going to keep out shouting CR.
The Almighty deserves all the shout-outs.
All right. So what would you rate this, Brett? Since you said it's not a 3 out of 5, what would you rate it?
I mean, part of me wants to give it a 1, but it wasn't damaging. The Alexa Bliss one, we knew that match was going to be bad. It would have been more surprising if it was good. But all the finishes, dang. I'd give it a 2 only because every match had good wrestling. Just every match had crappy finishes. I'd give it a 2, but man, I'm so close to give it a 1 out of 5.
Look at Sierra Shidori just popped in. He popped in all 8, and then the show's about to finish.
What's going on, Shidori? I mean, we all know he didn't watch the show, but yeah.
Shadori doesn't watch the show, but don't worry, Shadori. I watch the show so that you don't have to. You don't have to put yourself through that torture like I do.
Canada.
Yeah.
But no, like that's the one thing that I cannot wait for fans. Like it cannot come any sooner, because when fans come back, we will very much see what people are into, what people are not into, and like man, like weirdly, the wrestling community, like us who watch, WWE every day, we talk about it and stuff. Like there's a lot that we don't like and we critique it, and it's only because we want it to be better. But we like weirdly, the audience is there are two audiences for WWE. It's mostly an audience of one, which is Vince, and then some of the crowd. It's the casuals. It's not us. Like we are not the target audience anymore. They are there to make moments. They are there to make clips. They broke up the New Day for no reason, but it was a moment because hey, broke up the New Day. Like,
so hold on. Rory 2 says, I'm kidding. I didn't. Never. I don't need to read that. The thing that killed the pay-per-view was not having Reigns versus Ray. Do you guys agree or disagree with Rory?
I would have. I mean, I don't think it would help. I mean, it would definitely help the pay-per-view. I would say that. Would it be better? No, because what they showed on SmackDown was fine. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it could have been better. And maybe it's because it was on TV that they weren't given enough time for it. I don't know. But if we use what was used on SmackDown, we just splice it into this pay-per-view, I'd still say it's a 2 out of 5. Even with that would have been the best match because the story makes sense and what is happening, like bloodline and everything. Like that is the best thing in all of WWE. Period.
The match on SmackDown because of commercials. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shayna versus Alexa Bliss was the weakest match on the card. In my
yeah, that was terrible.
Don't throw stones at me, CR, okay?
That was terrible. That match was terrible. It was terrible. I hated it.
Don't let CR hear you say that. I think he's just gonna you're just gonna take that, CR.
Hey yo,
How
CR.
dare you, damn it. The disrespect is real. The disrespect.
That match was terrible, CR.
It was true. It's the weakest match on the card.
Pal. Good work rate.
Dude, I have my own, like, I'm a mark for different wrestlers myself. Like, I'm a Miro mark. I will definitely say that. And like, I defended the whole best man thing in AEW. It could have been better. It was fine, in my opinion, but I do know that a lot of people did not enjoy the best man gimmick that he had before Miro got the TNT title. And ever since he got the TNT title, his character is amazing. But
okay. Oh, Michael 101591 says Shayna and Alexa and Rhea and Charlotte were the worst matches that killed this pay-per-view.
The Alexa Shayna match in its entirety was trash. The Rhea Charlotte match was good up until the ending. The ending killed the entire match.
Bliss is a goddess.
Yes.
And he's on the same boat with UCR. Don't insult the Queen of Darkness.
As I said, I like Alexa Bliss. She's great. I hate this character.
Honestly, I'll be totally honest. I'm with Brett. Well, not that I hate the character, but I did like Alexa Bliss better when she was the goddess of WWE.
I mean, who didn't?
She was a goddess.
It was good work rate, pal. Good work rate.
The reason why the goddess gimmick did work is because she was still within like the realms of like reality, where it's like, I am a wrestler. One of my favorite spots is when Alexa Bliss, she's double jointed. She like faked that she broke her arm in a match, but then went back after. I think it was Sasha. I think it was. So Sasha was face at that time. Like, I love that spot. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Becky.
Oh, it was Becky. Okay, but regardless, like, that was a fantastic spot. Like, Alexa is good at what she does. This is not me bashing Alexa Bliss, the person. I don't like this. This is about WWE going, hey, Alexa Bliss, this is what we want you to do. Since TLC, the Inferno match, WWE had no idea where that story was going. They had no idea. They Alexa didn't know. Bray Wyatt didn't know, and Randy Orton didn't know where the story was going. They had no idea where the finish was, what the ending was. That's why at WrestleMania, it was literally just thrown together because Vince McMahon and WWE had no plans for an ending or where that story was going. That's why at WrestleMania, when it ended, they went, okay, there we go. And Alexa went, well, I got a new doll now. And Bray Wyatt went, hey, I'm in the funhouse and I'm here now. Bye! And that's it. And then Randy Orton's like, you know what? I'm done with this. I don't want to deal with that. I did this for you for 6 months. I'm going to go and hang out with Matt Riddle and do awesome things, which the whole Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, and the New Day is the best thing on Raw. That's the one saving grace on Raw. Everything else about Raw, I want to bash my skull in. Like, Raw
the best
is
thing about
trash.
Raw is when the New Day dresses up as the Power Rangers. That's the best thing ever on Monday Night Raw. And when I get to walk with Elias, of course.
You really like the Jackson Riker Elias storyline?
No, I just like to walk with Elias.
Okay. I'm like, oh my God, that whole thing is trash. And I hate what they turn Jackson Riker face.
Hold on. So Michael 101591 says, remember when Alexa first came into NXT, she was blowing sparkles and in a cheerleader.
That wasn't good. That was bad.
Daily Dan says he agrees, he liked her before. Cook 318 says, I'm Scottish. I should watch for Drew, but I literally only watched for Alexa. Ended up liking the rest of the pay-per-view except the match endings. Daily Dan says she's not going to do this crap forever. Hey, look, CR, check this comment out. Cook 318 says she's the hottest, best on the mic. Plus, she sells the most merch behind only Roman. That's why she's there. I don't know about
the first one though. I mean, the Evolution is tomorrow on Raw.
Roman says we need comebacks by Bella's, Becky, Cena, Rock, Lesnar to spark our entrance. The only thing that sparks my interest is Mandy Rose and you misspelled evolution, Rory, but okay. Michael 101 says no, Elias is boring. Okay. I'm not gonna read that comment anymore. And then it says Bray will be back. He'll come out to the first F over Alexa.
Okay, pull up that one about like Becky and Rock and Brock and all of those guys. Pull that one up. I want to see that. Okay, here this is the problem with WWE. We need comebacks of the Bella Twins. Yes, but Becky is the only one that I will agree with. We don't like Bella, Cena, Rock, Lesnar, all spark your interest. Do you know how old those guys are? They have been around since the 2000s and late.
But they're still a draw, though.
Yes, they are, but that's the problem. Becky is the only draw from that entire thing. Mandy Rose is not a draw. Mandy Rose is on the undercard fighting for the tag belts. And Eva Marie?
Hey, I'm not.
I know how long I've been watching John Cena. I've been watching John Cena since he faced off against Kurt Angle when he was in 2002. And I was 9. I was 9 years old at that time.
The problem,
I'm 28 now.
Wait, how can you see him? You can't see him, damn.
And look, here's the thing. I love The Rock. Like, I grew up on The Rock. The Rock was my favorite guy next to Shawn Michaels. I love The Rock. I love John Cena. Brock Lesnar is definitely the final boss monster. Like, they're all like, though they are definitely draws. But why is it that those are the guys that need to show up when we need a draw? Or they do a Legends night or whatever. They go back to the 90s and the Attitude Era and all of that. But you can't build the only superstar, the only draw you have currently on the main roster right now is Roman. Becky isn't there yet, and Becky will be the draw. I very much will agree. But you know how Becky got over and became the draw? Very similar to how Daniel Bryan got over. She got over naturally because of Survivor Series and that entire thing, and she became the man. She got herself over, was able to do it naturally, and we went along with her. Hence, when she turned quote-unquote heel at SummerSlam, when she was like, I'm the bad guy, and like WWE wanted you to cheer for Charlotte, the entire crowd told you, no, screw you. Becky's our girl, not Charlotte. And that's why they then shifted. Thank God they did. Unlike with Daniel Bryan back in like 2013, 2014. So, no, the problem with WWE is that they don't know how to make new upcoming superstars. And again, Roman Reigns is like in his 40s. I know that I'm an AEW mark, and I know I'm going to go ahead and get like stuff on that. But like, look at what AEW is doing. There are,
whoa, yeah, whoa, you were going way off topic here. I mean, I appreciate your enthusiasm, I really do. But let's try to stick to the Hell in the Cell.
All I'm saying is that WWE doesn't know how to build stars.
No, and we know that, But Brett, hey, I want to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
So CR21 here. Where are you? Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm right here.
Right.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes.
All right.
Bingo. Oh yeah, that's right, Rory. That's right. Mandy Rose and Eva Marie are draws. Damn. For everyone, damn. Even for Brett, it's a draw.
Look, last year when it was the Otis Mandy Rose story with Dolph Ziggler, I love that storyline. That was probably the one match that I love. And that story was told to perfection.
Okay, hold on. So Daily Dan says, I thought the pre-show match with Natalie and Mandy was really good. I didn't watch it. Rory agrees with you, CR. Mandy and Eva Marie are draws for him. Eva Marie is not a draw. Cook 318 says he's dead on. Dirty Racers can do shit. Rory says, I totally agree that Becky only draws, but in Vince's eyes, the other said I will be there for draws. What I was gonna ask you, Brett, on behalf of CR sometimes does streams where he random 5-hour streams where he just talks about wrestling. Would you ever care to join him? I'm sure he'd. CR, would you love to have Brett on your channel? CR? For your 5-hour streams?
5 hours, wow.
Yeah. CR?
Well, we don't exactly go for 5 hours, but
we
just talk some random things.
Yeah, we just talk random stuff.
I mean, if I can find the time, or I mean, again, I'm open to it. I'm not gonna say that I'm not. I'm open to it.
Dark Elevation.
Hey, man, I'll gladly talk about Dark and Elevation. But look, the thing is that look, if you're fans of Alexa Bliss and Mandy Rose and stuff, that's great. Like, that's fine. The whole thing about what draws and what actually draws, why people watch WWE.
Oh my God, Daily Dan, and we've talked about this. Bailey's face hurts my eyes. Who said that Bailey looks like Jay Leno? Was that DST?
You guys are terrible. You guys are terrible. I love Bailey. God, I hate what they've done to my girl.
Come on, man.
Bailey looks like Jay Leno.
Guys are terrible.
He says he likes Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan's another great wrestler.
Don't work great, bro.
Rory says he'll join your channel, CR.
Oh, anytime.
So the whole thing that I'm talking about is just WWE has the greatest roster, the greatest roster of talent in the history of wrestling, period. But wrestling is not enough if you don't have a good story, good build and payoff to your storylines, to your matches. Hence why this pay-per-view was boring. I could have.
Oh my God, Daily Dances. Bailey looks like the little child of Frankenstein in China.
You guys are terrible. All of you are terrible. Oh my God. You guys are terrible. Terrible.
What do you think about that, CR?
Oh, they're terrible. You all look terrible people. Terrible.
Terrible, damn it. Terrible. God damn it.
All right, we got about I would say 6 more minutes left on the stream because I'm working overtime here now. But
we can go to 3 a.m. I mean, come on now.
No, it's tied at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh wait, it's time for 3 hours Raw tomorrow. Oh God.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't break the news. Bad news to tell.
I'm not bad news to tell. Okay.
Well, sometimes you are. Guys, we have 4 hours of wrestling on Friday. Let's go.
Oh, Cook 318 says, sorry, first time listener. What is your thoughts on the release of Braun? CR, what are your thoughts on that?
That was pretty shocking.
Yeah, it was. It kind of was
Honestly,
shocking,
like Braun,
honestly.
he was just in a WWE title match like last pay per view. Had a big
So
match against Shayna Mania, and he was a draw on YouTube. So I don't know why they released him.
there is a reason why they released him. So
Well, he
when
had the
you
budget.
yes, so and it was like
His
it's such a
contract.
bull. It's
His
bull
contract.
crap. It's a bull crap reason. It's such a
Rose
bull crap
says,
reason.
"I'm afraid I've got some bad news." What's the bad news, Rose?
But regarding the when I first heard that Braun within that like set got released, I was like, "What? Why?" And then it was because his contract is that like he is like it's like 1 mil plus or something. Like his contract was ridiculous, was really high. And like they were like, "Oh, we're bunch cuts," and that's why they released him. It's stupid. It's dumb. I hate that WWE because they're making more profit than they ever have in the history of the company now. And they're releasing everyone left, right, and center. Like what? Like though, I do definitely. This is a rumor. This is speculation. This is not proven or anywhere. But I definitely do believe, and I know people have talked about it, like Brian Alvarez and other people. But I very much do believe that WWE is going to sell. WWE is going to sell to USA, NBC, like Universal, or to Fox, or to someone else. But I do think that is going to happen in the near future. I would probably say in the next 5 to 10 years, that's probably going to happen.
Hold on, you guys. I'll be back. CR takeover.
Okay, so I am here all by myself. I don't know if CR is here or whatever. Oh, there he is.
I'm listening.
There we go. But yeah, like with Braun being released with that contract, it does make sense. It's stupid. It's dumb. I don't agree. In mind, I don't know why I said it makes sense. It doesn't make sense. But WWE doesn't make sense. God, I just want it to be good. Because when I watch NXT is amazing. I love it.
Oh yeah, NXT been good. They got Samoa Joe back too.
I'm sorry?
They got Samoa Joe back also.
Oh, dude, I popped so hard when Joe came. I mean, mind you, I knew that was going to be happening. But God, I still popped when his music came on. Oh, I was chanting with the crowd like Joe, Joe, Joe,
He
Joe.
put Adam Cole in the chokehold.
Oh, that was amazing, and I loved it. Like, I love all of that. Mind you, the best story in NXT out of that's the new one. I love that. I love Samoa Joe being like the enforcer with William Regal. But the best story in NXT is definitely the Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, $1 million title story. I loved that. LA Knight turning heel, getting the $1 million title, and then beating up Ted DiBiase, and then Cameron Grimes comes out for the save. Fantastic. I'll gladly watch NXT, and I just again, this Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It's just it feels like Hell in a Cell is like just the worst one ever since 2019. I just I can't stand. And like the Hell in a talk about like the Hell in a Cell. The cell itself, like it looks like a toy. It's red. Like at least it looks sturdy, but God, it looks like a toy. It looks so. I don't know. This entire pay-per-view was just. It was a pay-per-view, and it just very much felt like they're in a holding pattern until Money in the Bank, because that's when they have crowds, and I'm really tired of WWE waiting. Like, we're gonna wait for the crowds, we're gonna wait for the draft, we're gonna wait for the wild card rule, we're gonna wait for like. WWE will get better after the draft. WWE will get better after they get rid of you are the authority. Now it's going to get better. WWE is going to get better when after the wild card rule is done, or after this, or
God.
Oh, where are we on bingo, you guys? Has anybody gone in bingo yet? Remember, you gotta look for these things on the stream, because they do happen.
I already won bingo earlier.
As you saw, I just left my own stream, so let me know, people.
Bingo.
I have no idea.
I won. Yeah.
All right, so Michael 10159. Sorry if I mess up your name, Michael. Says, do you guys think Jeff Hardy will be on his way out of WWE and going to AEW at the end of the year?
Nah.
Matt Matt wants Jeff with him in AEW, and Matt has already said he plans to end his career in AEW. I don't know when Jeff's contract is done, but with the way they keep using Jeff, like
his contract got extended because I think it was supposed to be done last year or 2 years ago, but then he
That's
he
what they
got
gave him the IC
arrested.
title last year.
He got arrested. He got arrested, and it caused him to get time added onto his contract.
I mean, I very much do think that Jeff, whenever Jeff's contract ends, I do see Jeff going to AEW. And I very much do think that'll be Matt would be pushing for that. And Jeff is still a draw. Jeff is still a draw. There is a reason, but we would be able to see Jeff work much better. And the thing is, Jeff was the best in Impact when he was Brother Nero. And the reason that is because Matt didn't want him to be a spot monkey and ruin his body. In WWE, anytime that you see a match, he has to do the swanton. He has to do all of the high-flying rules.
I like the swanton.
I love the swanton.
My favorite swanton is when he did it from the Titantron onto Randy Orton.
Oh, I love that. That's probably my favorite spot too. But what I'm saying though is he's old. He is the younger brother, but he's definitely old. And God, when I watch him wrestle, I worry. I go, "Oh God, is this when you die?"
So Rose says, "Did y'all see the hand under the ring during the main event?" No, I did not. What hand are you talking about, Rose? I didn't see anything.
Damn, what's been going on now?
Whoa, are you sure you didn't smoke one too many blunts?
Yeah, come on, Oos. You can pass the gas over, but come on, man.
You got a little smoke in your eyes?
Bow.
Daily dances. Oh my God, LOL.
I'm about to look that up right now. Hand in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, let me know what you find. Tag teams are a thing of the past, says Cook 318.
In WWE, they are. In WWE, they are.
Too PG.
In WWE, Vince does not care about tag teams. If you want to watch good tag team wrestling, you go watch AEW. AEW has the greatest tag team division in all of wrestling. Not New Japan, not Impact, AEW. Hands down.
Mark.
No, the best ladder match I've ever seen. The best tag team ladder match was at All Out 2019.
You don't think I don't know that? I was there at 2019. That's how you and me met.
I'm aware.
That's how we met.
That still is the greatest ladder match ever.
Escalera de Muerte.
I love that match. How is it a Canadian destroyer from the top of the ladder through a table? What? If you want to watch good tag,
159 agrees with you.
If you want to, awesome. I'm glad that you do. Great.
I'm just kidding when I call you a Mark.
I know. I very much know. I know. I know I'm a Mark for AEW, but I also keep myself in check too.
They're different, pal. They're different.
You love to see it, pal.
Look, I very much do when WWE is good, it's amazing.
And you and I have had this conversation before many times over the months, bro. Remember I told you when WWE tries, when they actually try, they can put on one hell of a show, and CR just left us.
Yeah, I can see. I'm sorry. I must have been insulting him too much. I'm sorry.
Like I said, we've had this conversation before. When WWE tries, they can actually put on a show.
The episode of SmackDown to start Survivor Series, when that was when the entire men's roster got stuck in Saudi Arabia. So almost all of SmackDown was screwed. So then Triple H brought up NXT, and that was the invasion of NXT. That was fantastic. The entire Otis storyline for WrestleMania 36. Yeah, 36. That was my favorite storyline. The Firefly Funhouse match is hands down one of my favorite matches. It's not even a match, but my God, it's my favorite cinematic match, hands down. It literally is a breakdown of not only Bray Wyatt's character and John Cena's character, but also of the WWE itself. I love that match. When WWE when it's good, it's amazing. But my God, it's like 95% of the time you have to watch all of the absolute trash that is in there. Like Roman Reigns, the Bloodline is the best thing on WWE, period. But everything else outside of RK Bro on Raw is absolute garbage. I cannot, like, I hate watching Raw. Like, if I didn't have to
CR's
cover
back. Hold on. Welcome back, CR.
if I didn't have to cover, like, if I didn't have to, like, go ahead and cover wrestling myself also and whatever, like, I wouldn't watch Raw. I would not watch Raw. I would only watch the highlights, and you'd be set. You would be set if you just watched the highlights.
All right. So I guess, sorry, Brett. I guess
fine.
with that being said, you know, we are this review is dwindling down. So CR, do you have anything to plug or promote?
Nope. Nothing at all. Just thank you for having me on.
Always a pleasure having you, CR. You know you're always welcome.
The almighty era continues.
What about you, Brett? Where are you?
Of course I do. So I run another channel called The Brotherhood of Geeks on YouTube, youtube.com/Brotherhood of Geeks. You can go ahead and see all of my coverage of E3, which just ended last week. I cover video games, movies, TV shows. I also talk about wrestling every so often. But I do talk about video games, TV shows, movies. We do unboxings. We have a PlayStation podcast called Dual Shocked. You can go ahead and follow all of that. Go to our YouTube channel, watch some of the videos, and like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that kind of good YouTube stuff. And also press the bell icon. That way, whenever we put up a video, you know we put up a video. You can also follow us on Twitter at DualShockedBOG. That's DualShocked BOG. That's the name of our PlayStation podcast, Dual Shocked BOG. And then you can also follow us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/The Brotherhood of Geeks. And then you can also follow us on Twitch when you stream at twitch.tv/Brotherhood of Geeks. So yeah, no, I again, as you can see, I love talking about wrestling. Whether it's bad or good, this was bad. It was boring. It was more boring than anything. It had some bad spots. All the finishes were terrible. But the wrestling itself was fine up until the end of the finishes.
All right. Well, that being said, okay, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed your night. And again, please thank you so much for watching. All right. Hope you guys have a great night. Bye.
Have a good night, guys.